All right, good day, everybody. It's probably about -8 or -9 this afternoon. Pretty dark. We're gonna get a snowstorm, and we're gonna go for a rip. I'm gonna give you a backyard bush run, and we're gonna go through probably 2/3 of this 85 acres, and we're gonna go to double beaver ponds back here, and yeah, I'll show you around a little bit. I got a trail kind of cut through here, and the weapon of choice today we're going to drive is one of two things, either the Yamaha Bravo long track or the Ski Doo Tundra. When you see this trail that I hacked through the bush, it's not very wide. The VK can go through there, but it's not my weapon of choice. So we're going to take the Ski Doo Tundra, and we'll go from there. Alright, so I hacked the trail right through this bush, all the way down through this alder swamp here and into the high ground. And this is all low ground in here, all alders, and you get moose coming around through here once in a while. Alright, so up here straight ahead of me, and actually right behind the sled, this is an old logging road right here. This road's 20 years old, and you can see all these young sugar hard rock maple here, moose maple, call them what you will, up and down. And if you look up and down this trail, all these young rock maple are starting to grow on this logging road up here. And I'm going to do a little more clearing on here, and but for the meantime, I just cut a snowmobile trail down through here last year and this year, and I'd like to get it cleared a little bit wider, at least wide enough possibly to get a tractor through here, a side-by-side, an Argo, something like that, to get in and out of here. So that gives you a good look straight down this road. You can see the logging cut they put through here 20 years ago, a little over 20 years ago. And we're heading right back now to a dried up beaver pond. So now we're going downhill and we're heading into lots of balsam fir, tamarack, spruce, and cedar off the top of the hill. We're going downhill, or we're going down into the lower ground. Lots of conifers down here. So I was coming down here the other day on this bush road right here, and generally in this area the deer will come down to the yarding area down in here along the Ottawa River in the winter time. They'll come off the high ground mountains here, the open hardwoods where there's little cover. They'll come into the lower lands and the lower valleys that are covered with balsam fir and cedars and pines, hemlock. The deer love that in the lower grounds. The snow's not as deep and they got lots to nibble on. But anyway, I was on the trail the other day here, and when the deer come in, the wolves come in too. That's just the ecosystem, man, and that's how it works. It's the real world out here. So anyway, right here I seen where some wolves had come up here on my snowmobile trail, and they stopped right here. They wouldn't go any further. They ended up dumping off down and going down into the lowland down here. So the wolves had come this far. So I set up my Bushnell trail camera right there on the trail, and it's been there a couple days. And I did get one picture of a wolf, but it was really shitty. He was actually running this way on the trail at night, and I couldn't see anything except the back of his head in a big blur. So he must have been moving fast. That so far is the only shot I got of wolves, so I'm going to keep it here for the rest of the winter. Hopefully as much as I can. Will the batteries last? And I'll just try my best to keep it out here. I might go through a lot of batteries because it's been cold. But anyway, and we'll see what happens. So right now we're heading downhill and we're going to an old dry beaver pond. Here's a story on this beaver pond, you guys. This is a story I heard from my neighbor on this beaver pond. This must have been beautiful in here 20 years ago when this was a full-fledged beaver pond, because it runs downhill and there's the dam. If you look right here, all this raspberry cane right here, and the elevated 3 feet high goes all the way across over there. That's the old beaver dam, and it goes right across this whole thing. So anyway, what happened was this was a full-fledged mini lake in here, a huge beaver pond, beautiful. It goes downhill here through this dam a little bit, and it goes into the next beaver pond that we also have in this property down lower yet. And what happens is it goes all the way out front to the road at the front of my property, long way. But what happened apparently was the beaver dam collapsed, and one of these ponds, the beaver dam, broke. Whether it broke in here somewhere and was repaired, or it broke in the other pond, I don't know. But apparently it took all that beaver pond water. This is a true story I heard. It went down the mountain right through my property in the valley, and it washed out the road. It completely took the road. They said it washed the road completely out. It was completely impassable. Well, after they repaired the road, guess what happened to all them beavers that were back here? I'm sure it all goes hand in hand. You know, it'd be nice to have those beavers back in these. I'd love to have a beaver back in here and have these full of water again, because when you've got beaver ponds, man, you got the whole ecosystem, you got everything. And I'd love to have them back here. But here we are. This is a nice old beaver pond, and it does have water in this area down low in here. And it's completely surrounded, as you can tell, by high ground valley. This all the way around. We're right in the bottom of a valley here. All the way around is a mountain that completely feeds this little fish bowl right here, and gets a lot of water in here in the spring. The water really moves through here in the springtime. But yeah, that's where we are right now. All right, and down through here, right here is the causeway. From this high ground here, higher ground, goes downhill right through this causeway, this beaver area, down through, goes downhill to another big beaver pond down below, and we'll head over there right now. And as you guys could tell earlier, that's why I prefer the Ski Doo Tundra back here, because it's narrow, and this machine here really carves through the bush nice. It feels really light on the front end, as where if I right now had my bigger VK or a Scandic or an Expedition, something big, it'd be a little bit more hard to maneuver through that swamp we went through to get back here. So I always bring the Ski Doo Tundra, and it's got reverse too, and it's light. Just a good all-around machine. That's my weapon of choice for the bush here. if you guys look, hopefully you can see through. We're on top of a fairly big hill right now, and it all goes downhill from there. On this hilltop, all this drains down into that second beaver pond that we're going to right now. So we're up fairly high. And the deer love it right up in here on top of this mountaintop in here on the high ground. I see deer tracks quite a bit, so there's going to be a tree stand that goes back in here along this logging road right here. And you can see by all the small growth in here, all these sugar maple, all this young growth taken over. There was obviously some big trees in here. By the size of some of these stumps in here they took out over 20 years ago. And on this side you can see along the old Beaver Pond edge, this is where you get all your conifers, down through here. Your pines, your spruce, your tamaracks, and your cedars all along here. All on this downhill side. Lots of snowshoe hare, lots of grouse in there too. So we're on that dried up second lower beaver pond here, and as you can tell straight ahead of the camera, this is a waterway right here we're standing on right now. This is a nice clear stream in the spring and most of the summer actually. It runs all the time. And this is a big stream cut down through here that actually leads all the way to the road. It goes all the way to the road and underneath the road. But anyway, you can see the clear cut stream goes all the way and winds all the way down, exits the beaver dam. There's a beaver dam at the far end here, and goes all the way down the valley and out to the road. And this here is also part of the 85 acres that we bought, so it's nice. And the odd time you'll see deer or you'll see moose coming across here. as you guys can see on video, as we're winding and darting through this swamp down in here, and these sharp turns and everything else, that's where these little machines are nice for carving around through the bush like this. And you can see my trail's not very wide through here. I'd like to make it wider, as I said, but we're in the lowest part of the land here in this alder swamp, and you got to be able to turn tight for now and get through here, and that's where the Tundra shines. So I took you on a little cruise on that Ski Doo Tundra, but actually that little run we just went on back to those double beaver ponds back there, that's probably about 2/3 of the way back of this 85 acres. And we're going to strive to get the rest of a trail cut to the very back of the property, right to the crown land behind us. But that's what we're going to work on eventually, because I got the trail cut this far just by hand labor and clearing out the alders and them maples and all that to get back as far as we did, which was quite a bit of work itself. But yeah, that's just a portion, so it would be nice to go all the way to the very back of the property. So I just thought I'd show you guys that, and it's a nice little bush run, and it's also good. That snowmobile trail is also great for if you don't want any noise and you just want to be quiet. You can put on your snowshoes. We snowshoe back there too quite a bit. I knock the trail down with a snowmobile, get it packed down, and then quite often we'll put snowshoes on here and we'll go all the way to the back of the property. All right, thanks for tuning in, you guys.